glad you guys are riding along today. We're passing by Bristol Raceway. It's over to our left. About 8 miles from my home, and we're heading up to ride the Snake 421. So it's just a beautiful day here in East Tennessee, and it is fall. And I've been looking forward to taking some time off and being able to ride the Snake, one of the most popular motorcycle roads on the eastern part of the United States. So I'm glad you guys are going to ride along, guys and gals, and hope everybody's doing good out there, riding and vlogging and moto vlogging. And we are headed for a good ride today. So if you've never been able to ride 421 Snake, you're going to today. Takes you up through on the north side of Elizabeth in Tennessee and to a little valley called Shady Valley, and we'll be stopping in Shady Valley to hopefully a popular stop there where a lot of motorcyclists stop. It's really the only thing in that area. And if everything goes well, we may just sit on the front porch and have a hamburger while we look at the beautiful scenery of these leaves. And as pretty as it is today, even though it's a Monday, there could be several bikers out taking advantage of these last few days of fall. So we'll see when we get there. But like I said, we just a few miles from the house and just passed by the Bristol Speedway. If you follow NASCAR, which I know many people don't, I really don't much anymore, but anyway, it's really close to our home. Like I said, about 8-10 miles, and then we're just gonna sneak back behind it up through here and cross the South Holston Lake and up 421. 489 curves, I believe it is. It is almost Halloween time. I can always tell. A few weeks ago, my wife decorated the front of the house. Pumpkins and things, but you know, we never do the pumpkin carving. Never really got into that as a family. But maybe you do in your family, and it's that time of year. Oh, you can see the mountains in front of us. That's where we're headed. Just a beautiful, beautiful place this time of year. Also up in this area is Damascus, Virginia. You can go on through where we're going to be stopping there in Shady Valley, and they have popular places up through there. And it's a place called Creeper Trail, great place to ride bicycles. You can even rent bikes. Things never been myself. I always liked something with a little power, gasoline, whenever I'm out. Although it wouldn't hurt to have a little bit more exercise. So I asked my wife the other day if she might be interested in picking up a couple of bikes to ride, and didn't get much of a response, but I would be in as long as it's pretty flat, but I'm not for sweating and riding a bicycle. It's just me. Some people love it. Although, you know, it's like jogging. I mean, all through high school, I ran, played sports, and I promised myself when I got out of high school I wouldn't run unless I had to. But I have a few times, but, you know, that's the interesting thing about joggers. I don't think I've ever seen a jogger smiling. And that ought to tell you something. But I have passed a lot of motorcycle riders with big smiles on their faces. Anyway, if you're a bicyclist, don't hate on me. Just saying, not for everybody. Just like motorcycles are not for everybody. Because yes, they are dangerous. Alright, we are officially up to 421. This is not really the part they call the snake, nor even counting toward the curves. But 421 from where we started, Johnson City, it's about 30 miles over to, and if you stay on 421 that we're on, we'll come in eventually in Mountain City, Tennessee. So we're getting ready to cross the lake up here. And man, is it gorgeous out here. So here we are, crossing the lake. You see the mountains in front of us. And I am getting ready to switch over from road mode that I cruised up the interstate on over to dynamic mode. We're now in dynamic mode on the GS1200, and I love it. It's just, throttle's very responsive. These tires, suspension, everything just really seems to fit these twisties, and there's some pretty tight little twisties. This is one of those roads that they always keep in really good condition, and you never really have to worry about a lot of gravel runoff and things like that. However, normally up through here you always do have to know that there's probably going to be some police out, especially on a pretty day like today, and definitely on the weekends if you're ever riding up through here, for sure. As you can see, we're still down in some of the residential area, bottom of the mountain. I called my neighbor to see if, actually sent him a text earlier this morning to see if he wanted to, there was another rider, see if he wanted to ride up with me. And then I called the other buddy to see if he, since nobody could ride, so I thought, well, I'm going to go ahead and do a solo trip, clear my mind, take in the beauty. There's a little flagman. I don't know what that's about. I guess we'll see here in a minute. But yeah, take in this just beautiful scenery. Several bikes were passing, so there's quite a few guys out. Nobody patting the top of their helmets, letting me know there's police ahead, so hopefully there's not. So let me just officially welcome you to the Snake 421 in East Tennessee. Like I said, one of the most popular motorcycle roads, but rarely do you get to ride it, and looking at such beautiful trees, that is just amazing. My goodness. Beautiful. So in a few minutes we'll be into that mountain you can see up there. Headed over to Shady Valley. And they have a little country store. You can buy t-shirts, stickers, And they usually got a little restaurant that's open where you can get something good to eat. Sit there on the porch, talk to other riders, kick back, enjoy the view. It's hard to beat. It's really hard to beat. There's a campground off to the right there off 421. Never been down to it. I heard it was pretty rusty. And yeah, there's a lot of bears through here, a lot of deer. One of the things kind of on my mind today is not bear, but deer just jumping out in front of you. Here we go. I have to stop here. Okay. Looks like they're doing some mowing. Bunch of stuff in the road. Glad that's behind us. But look at these beautiful corners. Wow. Into the sun a little bit. Actually got the visor open and my tinted visor down on this Schuberth helmet, which is very comfortable. I'm really enjoying it. It took me a little time to get it broke in, but it's a very comfortable helmet, very quiet helmet also. So you can see some of these are pretty tight little twisties. Wow, just gorgeous views. I know the GoPro doesn't get all that. There's a little three-wheel spider or something. I guess you're getting dizzy about now. Making our climb up the mountain. Looks like there's been a rock slide over there to the left we just passed. Yeah, a couple things I watch here on these turns. You got a big truck coming down the mountain. Doesn't really have any choice but to cross over your side sometimes to get around it. But other than people crossing the lines today, I think deer could be one of the biggest challenges. So hopefully we don't have any issues like that. And we're just going to have a great time riding. Here's a complete turn back. All of these corners are shaded, some of them sunshine. Just kind of going in and out of the shade and sun all the way up through here. So it looks like they've been cleaning the ditch lines out on really both sides of the road up through here. And actually damp in these corners a little bit, where the shade's been keeping the sun out. So we want to be a little gentle through there. And here's some newly paved area or section. That corner. And I have to say 421 is probably one of my all-time favorites Not just because it's close to home, just, you know, it's just fun and always beautiful. Another one of my top favorites is the Cherahela. Comes a couple bikers. Hey, buddy. Like I said, my philosophy, and I think most guys that ride these popular motorcycle roads, it's not because when they're unfriendly, it's just simply, and I noticed that guy waved the last guy, but I like to just keep both hands and my head straight ahead and not even compromise taking the hand off to wave, and not because I'm an unfriendly dude. It's just the safe thing to do, and like, you know, most guys understand that. And we are coming across into Johnson County. At the top of the mountain, come down the other side into Shady Valley. There's a speed limit of 35. And I've been running close to that. Woo. To me, I always enjoy going up a mountain more than going down. And I don't know why. I don't know if it's because I'm using my brakes more, or kind of pushes you forward on the bike if you don't know what you're doing, I guess. I don't know. Just to me. There's a big turn. Lots of leaves on the road there. And don't get me wrong, both are fun, going down and coming up. For some reason, I just prefer going up, being on the throttle more. Kind of curious if you guys are out there and you do a lot of sport bike riding. Would love to hear whether you are a 2-finger or 3-finger brake or 1-finger brake kind of people. You know what I'm talking about, where you got the throttle in one hand and your brake lever in the front, where you can get to your brakes quickly. Which on the BMW GS1200, which I'm on, 2013, you know, the brakes are all interlocked and just linked together. Makes it really nice. So whenever I pull the front brake lever, it automatically compresses my back and my front brake with the appropriate amount of firmness and grip, which is very handy. Otherwise, I know, like when on my V-Strom, Suzuki V-Strom 1000 that I had, it was not like that. And you know, you get used to it, you get used to whatever bike you're on, but a lot of times you have to sit with your foot kind of on the back brake and be careful if you're not using your gears. So here we are coming into Shady Valley. This is the first section of the Snake. The next section takes you on up to Mountain City. We're not going to go on over, but this is Shady Valley. You can see the big valley that we just opened up into here. And little country church, farm, big farms. Looks like some tractor sales there on the right. Don't remember seeing that. I guess it's been there. So as we cruise through the valley here, we'll be up to the little country store here at Shady Valley. Stop in. Volunteer fire department. Now if you take a ride up here at this four-way stop, you'll go down, it would take you down to Elizabeth in Tennessee, then on over to Johnson City, straight ahead to Mountain City, and to the left here is Damascus, Virginia, which it's a beautiful ride up through here. Oh yeah, there's lots of bikes in here. Well, I've seen a lot more than this, but still quite a few. See several other bikes pulling in. Can't see behind me tractors going down the road. Crazy around here. So we're going to get the helmet off and go in and grab a bite to eat. Alright, so I'm out here at Shady Valley Country Store. You can see it here. It's a big tower they got here. US 421, the Snake. And you can see back up that way. It takes you back toward Bristol. That's 421 headed that way. And then 421 on toward Mountain City is on up that way. And then there's this little valley called Shady Valley here. A little country store just stopped. So I just stopped in and had a hamburger and french fry and a Kit Kat. It was delicious. It's good. They got good burgers here at the country store. As you can see, the view here is beautiful. I'm not sure. The sun shines so bright, pick up the color on those mountains. You can see that big tank there, home of the Cranberry Festival. I guess they have a cranberry festival here. Wow. So they're working on the traffic up this other, on the road. And the traffic's been backed up the whole time I've been sitting out here. You can see, doing some paving or something. Right now there are a few bikes around here. A couple Harleys. There's a good looking BMW right there in the middle of all of them. The helmet set on the back, see that? It looks familiar. It's mine! Alright. So here's a shot of the store. Got fuel if you need it. My bike. See my helmet here. It's getting ready to take back off. It is filthy. It needs to be washed bad. But I sure am loving it. So we're going to take off back across 421 and head back toward the house. It's just beautiful out. I mean, beautiful. Well, thanks for watching.